as it sets the stage for the party to formally join the ruling United Democratic Alliance. Wandai Mbadi vetted before the Committee on Appointments in the second last day of the vetting exercise. Nairobi County Governor Johnson Sakaja pelted with stones as he visits Toy Market, which was razed down by fire in the early hours of Saturday. All right, welcome to the broadcast. My name is Cynthia Nanjala. Now, Treasury Cabinet Secretary nominee John Mbadi has come out to absolve the International Monetary Fund, IMF, of blame in Kenya's debt and tax wars that have occasioned mass protests across the country over the past 2 months. According to Mbadi, who spoke during his vetting by Parliament's Committee on Appointments on Saturday, the IMF does not necessarily bulldoze its way into the country, but is rather invited. Mbadi stated that Kenya was previously operating independently and financing its own activities, but was forced to return to the IMF for assistance after the COVID-19 pandemic, among other factors that affected the country's ability to keep moving solo.
IMF, by the way, I want to be very clear on IMF. IMF will never invite themselves to a country. We do invite them and agree with them on a program. There was a period we were not under IMF, but because of challenges occasioned largely by COVID-19 and the drought in the region, and also the global disturbance of the supply chain and all that, we then went back to IMF in 2020, 2021. But I have looked at what are these conditionalities. You know, sometimes we may blame IMF for nothing. We have agreed with them on a program, Mr. Speaker, that for us to tap into that loan, what we must do, in fact, is one key thing: revenue mobilization. So we just need to agree on how we can convince IMF for the period that we are going to be under their program, which I don't think should be long. We must move to a system where we divorce ourselves from IMF and start depending on ourselves as we were before. But that we can only do by allowing, by doing what can be done in the interest of the country. They want us to maintain a deficit of no more than 4.4%. That's what we have agreed on currently. But we are moving towards, and we must move towards, a budget deficit in the region of 2.5 to 3%. I know government has talked about 3.1. We can do more. Our tax laws are sometimes too complicated, making it very hard for taxpayers. In fact, it is causing taxpayer apathy. One of the principles of taxation is simplicity, fairness, equity. Our tax system is not simple. In fact, I just forgot to carry. I wanted to read to this committee, Mr. Speaker, a provision in the, do I call it defeated or withdrawn finance bill of 2024? Clause 12, calculating minimum top-up tax. You need to be a very smart accountant to calculate that. Lot of formula, different jargons. You cannot have such kind of legislations and expect to collect revenue. So we need to simplify our tax laws and tax system. If there are, I'm going to work around and check the tax laws that are complicated, that are causing us to lose money. Because when taxpayers realize that it is very difficult and complicated and costly to comply, they will not comply. So we must lower the cost of compliance to taxation.
Now, Energy Cabinet Secretary nominee Opiyo Wandayi was tasked to explain how he would lower the price of fuel despite having strong opposition to government's policies and the bottom-up economic approach, having been a key figure in the opposition party ODM. Wandayi, while before the Committee on Appointments, reiterated that his stand will not change as the country's democracy allows persons from various political stands to serve at the top of the country's leadership. Power blackouts challenges also featured in the vetting session as the nominee was tasked to respond to how he will deal with the constant frustrating power glitches.
You see, to do the whole business from generation to distribution. Some of this infrastructure was inherited, and some improvements have been done, but there's still room for further improvement, especially if we are to take electricity, optimally to those who need it. Honorable Speaker, we have situations where we are not able to evacuate power from the generators, okay, to the end user because of lack of transmission capacity. That's something I'll be working closely with the agencies in my docket to be able to fast track the modernization of the infrastructure. And especially when it comes to the last mile connectivity, we are going to work closely with REREC together with KPLC again, by way of engaging with the development partners to be able to finance this process. I'm aware, Honorable Speaker, before I conclude, that there was a proposal in the now defunct Finance Act 2024 for some money for each constituency. But as a matter of fact, 50 million shillings. In the budget, yes. In the budget, yes. Now that has been removed in the week of the withdrawal of the Finance Bill 2024. But let me assure my colleague members and the public generally that even with that, all is not lost. We are going to work very systematically with the REREC and KPLC to engage the development partners to help us finance this function. Indeed, even as we speak, there is a project going on which is being funded by the World Bank, okay, in terms of extending powers to those areas where the national grid has not reached, what we call the off-grids. And they have been very helpful, Honorable Speaker. I must commend the management of both KPLC and REREC, because as we speak, there are islands on Lake Victoria which previously had no power. And since the national grid cannot be extended to those areas economically, they have resorted to the off-grid power production, which is really helping those areas. We want to extend this to other areas, especially the far-flung areas of northeastern, okay? Yes, to use solar power to be able to light up those areas.
Now, Tourism and Wildlife Cabinet Secretary nominee Rebecca Miano has said to spur the industry, Kenya needs to diversify the origin of its guests. Now, she told the National Assembly Committee on Appointments that there is need to attract new markets, including the Middle East. Miano stated that the numbers at the ministry show that Kenya is not getting good numbers from some destinations like the Middle East, Japan, and China. Miano had initially been nominated to the Attorney General position before being renominated to the tourism docket that was previously held by Alfred Mutua.
Tourism is a great exchange earner. Currently, it's not the first as it should. It's number 3 in exchange earning. And we have an opportunity. I believe the tourism sector is easy to turn around, much easier than others that require a lot of work. Mr. Chairman, what I will do differently is to know that people support what they believe in. We must then use our citizens, use the local people, our fellow Kenyans, to take the pride of Kenya and market it ourselves. I believe if we do that, we get the patriotism, the love of our Kenya, and then we give opportunities to the people with the talent. And by the way, Mr. Chairman, all the employees in the tourism sector and hotel sector are 80% youth. That is a low-hanging fruit. If we partner with them as individuals, as corporates, as companies, and support them fully, and we tap into their creativity and their prowess, I believe if I take that trajectory, we will see numbers. And Mr. Chairman, 10 million is still below the weight of Kenya. At 55 million, we should be talking about beyond 20. And Mr. Chairman, with the support of Parliament to put the right policies, and with all the stakeholders. We have a very robust private sector, development partners. We must go out there and turn around this tourism and increase numbers.
Trade industry, and Investment Cabinet Secretary nominee Salim Mvurya came under fire during his vetting, with the vetting panel accusing him of being a desk minister with no touch on the ground. Mvurya, who was the Cabinet Secretary for Mining and Blue Economy in the previous team before President William Ruto dissolved it, was also accused of poor communication over what he was doing at his previous ministry. Pokot South Member of Parliament David Kosing fired the first accusation to Mvurya, accusing him of not being vibrant and preferring to work from the office instead of getting hands-on.
Many Kenyans think or say you are a desk minister. You only sit on your desk and run your ministry from your desk. And one of the evidence they are giving is that where you are as minister for mining, many counties are mineral counties or mining counties. And for example, West Pokot County is seriously a mineral county. If you have somebody in West Pokot who is Mvurya, or is Honorable Mvurya, they will be thinking you are actually a governor of Kwale. Nobody will remember these 2 years that you have been a minister, Honorable Mvurya, in all honesty and truth. Nobody. So now you are going to a ministry which is also very important, which is industries. And all counties are going the bottom up. They are going to be maybe industrial centers. Are you going to run your ministry from the desk where you are in minerals? Thank you, Speaker.
Short questions.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Quickly.
I want to confirm that I'm not a desk minister. I'm not a desk minister. I was in West Pokot because of the clinkerization program, the 45 billion. I was in Kithiori with Mheshimiwa here, confirmed. And many other places across the country, including Kadhonzweni in Makueni, Mulukoba in Busia, and many others. So maybe I may not have come to your constituency. I was also in Kamket and Katikit, Kambia, Samakis, and I can give examples, you know, many of them, but I think we need to also acknowledge that our country is very big. And you cannot be there at the right time. Remember also, Mheshimiwa, this ministry was fairly new, and we had also to put structures in place before we go out there. But I have a lot of field information which I can give you here to confirm that I was not desk.
Now, elsewhere, Prime Cabinet Secretary and Cabinet Secretary for Foreign and Diaspora Affairs Musalia Mudavadi joined ANC party leader, NEC officials and Amani Council for the pre-merger resolution meeting in Lamu County. President William Ruto and Musalia Mudavadi in June solidified their union with the merger of the ruling United Democratic Alliance and the Amani National Congress Party, effectively setting the pace for major shake-up in the country's political landscape. The Prime Cabinet Secretary, who resigned from the party following his appointment as the Prime Cabinet Secretary, said it was not practical for him to have candidates against the president.
Women of Kenya, ANC, we are proud to merge with the UDA, and the way we've been working as women of the ANC women movement, we want to steer this coming party. Immediately we merge, we stay to the next level so that His Excellency William Samoei Ruto can take this next 5 years to make it 10 with ease come 2027. So they
talk, but basically we are moving forward with the merger plans and arrangements between the ANC party and the UDA party. And today was a session for us just to team build and build ownership moving forward, which we have done, and unanimously we have agreed that's the direction we shall take moving forward. We shall be looking forward to meet the ANC team so that we can expedite that arrangement and we work as one party for the sake of Kenyans' unity and
haswa ile lengo la mkutano wetu leo ni kuwashirikisha hawa viongozi wetu ili ile nia na malengo ya kuungana na chama cha UDA ambacho party leader wao ni Mheshimiwa Daktari William Samoei Ruto. Kwa hivyo tumekuwa na mazungumzo mazuri, na la kufurahisha ni kuwa wote kwa umoja wameunga mkono pendekezo
ambayo yalikiweko 2022 yatakuwa yamebadilika tukifika 2027. Na sasa hata hatujafika 2027. Septemba ndio tunamaliza miaka miwili ya serikali hii. Haya mazingira yamebadilika tayari. Yamebadilika.
Nairobi County Governor Johnson Sakaja was on Saturday afternoon pelted with stones when he made a visit to the scene of an early morning fire incident at Toy Market. The Dawn Inferno, whose cause is yet to be established, left 4 people dead and traders counting huge losses. Sakaja, in a video making rounds online, can be seen surrounded by his bodyguards, who formed a protective shield around him while stones aimed at his head flew in the air. Some of the affected traders who spoke to the media expressed anger at the county boss, saying they want repairs done at the market once and for all. They accused Governor Sakaja of visiting the market when it burnt last year, making a long list of promises to fix it, but failed to do so.
What do you do? Yes. Just in the statement. Okay. Yeah. Exactly. Yes. Let's see why that says.
Now, ODM party members in Gusii region are now pushing for the appointment of Kisii County Governor Simba Arati as the deputy party leader following the resignation of Hassan Joho and Wycliffe Oparanya, who were nominated to cabinet positions. While addressing journalists in Kisii, the members demanded that the party considers the region for the position.
We categorically state that ODM is an official opposition party and an affiliate member of Azimio la Umoja One Kenya coalition. We truly appreciate the appointments and designations made. Needless to say, as staunch ODM supporters from Kisii County, we understand that there are positions to be filled in the party. In no uncertain terms and no double meaning, indivinities and unclearness, we are not open to more than one interpretation. We demand that Kisii County be considered for the vacant party positions, more specifically, office of the deputy party leader in ODM. To this end, we hereby front the name of His Excellency Paul Simba Arati for the position of deputy party leader in ODM.
Sisi kama Wakisii tumekaa kwa hii tumekuwa na hii party kwa miaka mingi. Sasa tunataka huyu gavana wetu Simba Arati apewe deputy party leader. Kama sio leo ni sasa hivi. Ama namna gani Wakisii?
Sisi tunamwambia ajipange, tunataka kiongozi ambaye ni party leader na deputy party leader ambao wanajua chama, ambao watitiriki, iwe mvua iwe jua. Hatutaki chameleons in our party.
I want to remind you that we were in the recent, in a few days ago, we were in our NDC in Nairobi. We discussed about the diversity and inclusivity of everybody in the Republic of Kenya, that we need everybody to be included. I want to state categorically that since we agreed so, we can point out so many positions that have gone to Homa Bay County. Please give us a break. Yes. We are now here as Kisii, who are equal stakeholders of the party ODM, which is the biggest party in Kenya.
Politicians allied to the Orange Democratic Movement have strongly criticized the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission EACC for attempting to obstruct the vetting process of former County Governor of Kakamega Wycliffe Oparanya over corruption allegations. During an ODM delegates meeting in Kakamega, leaders including the Kakamega County Governor Fernandez Baraza and Lugari Member of Parliament Nabii Nabwera called on the anti-graft body to cease its interference, noting that the Director of Public Prosecutions had previously cleared Oparanya of corruption-related charges.
Our son of the soil, Wycliffe Ambetsa Oparanya, we are solidly behind him. We've seen EACC issuing a statement to suggest that our government matters is not fit. But as the people of Kakamega County, we want to solidly say that we are behind Wycliffe Ambetsa Oparanya. The fact that he has been cleared by the Office of the Director of Public Prosecution, that means that any charges that were leveled against him, the office that is concerned with prosecution has cleared him.
We cannot deny a country, Kenya, which is suffering from malaise of underperformance, a person of that caliber. For God's sake, we have seen names there we know. You can't even measure. They can't even be a half of Oparanya. If they are not raising an issue on those names, why would they raise an issue on Oparanya? That is malicious. It is unacceptable to the people of Kakamega, and we are telling them, please keep off the work of Parliament.
As the circumcision season for the Bukusu community continues, a call has been given to the residents of Sirisia constituency in Bungoma County to maintain discipline and respect the traffic laws to avoid disasters that may be caused by road accidents. Speaking after meeting with the chiefs and their deputies at his office in Sirisia constituency to discuss security issues in the area, the Deputy Commissioner of Bungoma West Sub-County, Abdi Fatah Mohamud, has advised the residents to be careful and ensure the circumcision events are conducted in accordance with the law, as well as to avoid traffic law violations, to avoid disasters and accidents on the roads.
Mnajua kwamba hii ni msimu wa tohara. Tunazidi kuhimiza wananchi wasivunje sheria katika hii msimu. Mambo machache inaweza fanyika mabaya, kufunga mabarabara, accidents inaweza tokea kwa hizi mabarabara. Mnajua kwamba hii barabara yetu ya Loakaka, Chwele Road ni hatari sana. Malori ni nyingi. Tunawasihi wananchi wasije wakatembea katika hizi mabarabara ili usalama wao uingie hatarini. Hatutaki watoto wagongwe na hizi malori. Wajaribu wakae mbali sana na hizi barabara. Pia tunahubiri mambo ya amani katika nchi yetu. Haswa area yetu ya Sirisia hatujawahi kuwa na mambo ya maandamano. Na tunazidi kuhimiza wananchi, kitu kwanza wapatie nafasi serikali ifanye kazi. Mheshimiwa Rais amechukua mikakati kadhaa, amevunja cabinet yake, IG aliachishwa kazi, amevunja parastatals kadhaa, vita dhidi ya ufisadi pia ameweka mkazo, na hiyo yote ni kuonesha kwamba ako na nia nzuri ya nchi. Sisi kama wakaji wetu hapa Sirisia hatutaki kuona nchi yetu inatumbukia katika hali ambayo si nzuri, haswa mambo mchafuko. Mchafuko ukifanyika, hii nchi ni moja, na nchi ikiharibika itatuharibikia sisi sote. ndio tunazidi kuhubiri amani katika community yetu, kwa makanisa, kwa misikiti na area ambazo zote ambayo tuko na watawala wetu.
Now, in the world of sports, Sports Cabinet Secretary nominee Onesmus Kipchumba Murkomen has promised a total overhaul of the Sports Federation, accusing office holders of holding on to power in perpetuity despite a requirement for elections to be conducted. Murkomen aims to take over from former Cabinet Secretary Ababu Namwamba and has said he will work to have elections conducted in top sporting organizations, including Athletics Kenya and the Football Kenya Federation.
Honorable Kimani Ichung'wah, that the place that has to start is, Mr. Speaker, football, sports management, and for this purpose, FKF. Mr. Speaker, it is not right that for the last 8 years you have an organization that has a leadership in office that has not been elected, but they are there in perpetuity, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, it's not just FKF, it's AK. AK has been there for 12 years without an election. Cricket Association, the same. Badminton, the same. Mr. Speaker, for swimming, the same. There is a problem, a serious problem, Mr. Speaker, when it comes to sports management in this country. And Mr. Speaker, what is also worse is that there is a collaboration. And unfortunately, as an officer of the court, I have to say this. There is a collaboration between these organizations and, Mr. Speaker, court orders. If you find why the AK has never held elections for 12 years, it's because they are perpetuating themselves using a court order. That is the same way the FKF is perpetuating itself along a court order. Mr. Speaker, the first thing I will do is to make sure that we bring all the stakeholders, and Mr. Speaker, I promise I'll do that within the next 1 month, all the stakeholders in different sectors of sports to make sure that we have a conversation on how to turn around these sports. Number two, Mr. Speaker, I would like, and I hope the Chief Justice is watching me, or even if she's not watching me, she will be told. I'd like to have a meeting with the Chief Justice, Mr. Speaker, should I be approved, to discuss with the Chief Justice how they will expeditiously make decisions in relation to, Mr. Speaker, elections and officials of sports associations. Mr. Speaker, the Chief Justice and our judges must understand that they are blocking young people from accessing opportunities, Mr. Speaker. The third issue, Mr. Speaker, is that I am going to request those people who have served for more than 8 years in any federation, Mr. Speaker, to recuse themselves and give an opportunity to new people who have energy and vigor to be elected, Mr. Speaker, to make sure that they take over these associations.
Africa's fastest man, Ferdinand Omanyala, easily cruised the Paris Olympics 100-meter semi-finals on Saturday at the Stade de France. The Commonwealth Games reigning champion ran a time of 10 seconds or 10.08 seconds to win his heat in the 100-meter dash, ahead of Italian Ali Chituru and Joshua Hartmann, who came home second and third respectively. The second fastest man this year was off the blocks and surged to control the race, but after seeing off the competition, he slowed down towards the finish line. Also advancing into the semis of the 100-meter were US sprint star Noah Lyles, defending Olympic champion Marcel Jacobs of Italy, and Jamaica's Keishan Thompson, the fastest man in the year with his 9.77 seconds. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is where we wrap it up tonight. I hope that you're adequately informed. My name is Cynthia Nanjala. Good night, blessed weekend.